Hello, welcome to Conversations with Kristin. In this episode, my dear friend Robin is going to have a conversation with me. One of my passions is to have deep conversations to get to know people and see the magic and the beauty that they offer this world.
Well, hello. Hello, my friend.
Hello, hi.
How are you doing today?
Woo! How am I doing today? Oh man. I think for me, I'm like really excited to have this conversation with you. There's so much, and so much has happened within the first part of this morning. There's a lot alive in me.
Yes, that was my first question for you is what's alive for you today, Kristen? Wait, first of all, say we're flipping the script today,
Oh,
dear
yes.
listener and watcher, viewer. That I'm
Yes.
going to, me, Robin Foley, I'm going to interview Kristen so we can find out more about how she got here.
Woo!
Okay, so
Yes.
Kristen,
Thank you. Thank
what's
you.
alive?
First of all, thank you for being a collaborator in this, and because this is very much alive. And I have teetered on starting a podcast. I've teetered on being more present with my wisdom, with my experience. And looking back, it's probably been 4 years, and I've started with this friend and started with that. I've tried it with my own lens, and this feels right now. And the funny thing is, I've had moments in the last couple of days the universe has really confirmed that this is
Mhm.
what I'm meant to be doing. And so, for example, I took myself out to brunch on Sunday. I love to take myself out, and I've really gotten used to over the years that I treat myself and it's good. And so I took myself out to brunch and had the opportunity to have an amazing conversation with this gentleman next to me. And then this morning, I went to get coffee and I saw this woman and her baby, and we just had this amazing conversation. And it really, for me, it's simple and there's no bells and whistles. I just love to have conversations with people. And I love deep conversations. I love silly conversations. I love conversations about shows, but really diving in and digging deep into things that really fuels my world, my inner world. So, yeah, you and I talked about this conversations with Kristin. Like for me, I'm in awe of all these podcasts and these shows. And I think that's one thing that's held me back was, oh, I don't have this audience. I don't know what platform. I don't know what this. And for me, I think with the work with you, like I've just kind of gotten rid of that expectation. And I'm like, shoot, even if just one person listens to it and benefits and gets something from it, I'm overjoyed.
Well, that's a lot that's alive in you today. Was there anything else specific that you were wanting to bring forth about what's alive lately?
Well, it's funny because on Saturday evening, so in human design, I'm an emotional and I have these waves, ups and down waves. And I've really learned that it's good. I used to hide from them. I used to run from them. I used to try to avoid it. And with my journey in emotional well-being, I've really unpacked and learned that feeling things. And in me personally, I have to feel it. I have to step into the fire. I have to feel really crunchy in order to process and get clarity on what's really underneath it, and how to unpack it. And so I had this epiphany on Saturday night.
Let's
And
hear it.
it's crazy. And I know there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of fast shifts that are happening collectively and astrologically in the universe. I am not a huge TV watcher, but I've been watching TV, and I think it's really helped me just be. And I'm not tuning out to sometimes people watch TV and binge watch to avoid or tune out. But for me, I've learned that I need that in order to process something. Because if I can sit in silence But I find myself, if I sit in silence, then I start trying to be like, okay, what creative avenue what's something I can create? And sometimes I need a pause from that. And
Yeah.
so I actually sat up and I was like, oh my God, I have lived my life so small. And I'm just speaking for myself, I have given so much of myself in my work, in my relationships. And I had this moment where that was like, no more being small, no more shrinking yourself to please other people, no more shrinking yourself to adapt to other people's worlds. I have finally gotten to this point where, oh my God, I really truly am learning and loving myself. And
Mm.
so in that moment, it was like, damn, I got this.
Yeah.
Today, I actually got faced with a pattern or an emotion that has been a repetitive one in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I would blame someone, and I have transformed that into whatever I'm experiencing over and over with someone. It's actually a gift because there's more for me to process and unpack for myself. And something that's really spotlight, and maybe in our conversation, you can help me unpack this a little bit, is,
Okay.
or we can save it for our next coaching session, but is being chosen
Yeah.
and not being chosen. My mind telling me that in certain moments or in relationships or in experiences, I haven't been chosen. And that really got highlighted this morning in a conversation that I had with a loved one. And now it's okay. I don't have that gutted feeling.
Yeah.
So I actually talked to my kids about this and I was like, okay, there's something more to process. And I think as I'm talking to you about it, I look back in the last month, I've chosen myself and
Hmm.
not in a selfish way. I think for a majority of my life, I had the mentality of I have to give of myself to others and
Right.
I have to serve. And then going through really difficult challenges in my life, a divorce, that led me down the well-being path. And now we get to be of service, but we also put ourselves in that. And we have to take care of ourselves so that we can be of service 100% ourselves. And so, okay, so I'm going off on these tangents,
That's
but here is this thing, this belief, this limiting belief of I have never been chosen before, and I get to make one of two choices. Do I continue down that path of I've never been chosen, poor me, I'm gonna go eat ice cream and bonbons in the corner? Or it's how can I rewire?
my thoughts
Yes,
about it.
give me
Here's
your
because
wisdom.
something you said earlier, which is about making other people the blame of your emotional turmoil and then taking responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think you said it, seeing it as a gift, and it is a gift. So I use this language sometimes when I'm coaching people. It's like, okay, we have to take responsibility for everything that happens to us, which sometimes if you're in a frame of mind where you're ready to just put the blame on other people, you're like, but wait a minute, I'm not responsible for this. What that means is literally taking on the fix to happen
Yes.
within yourself and how
Yes.
you relate to different situations, to different people, to your own emotions, like that sort of thing. So it's taking responsibility for how you respond to the situation. And that's the gift. That
Yes.
person is a mirror to you. And then the other piece of that, which is what I think you're talking about, is whatever we think that we're missing, especially that thing that feels so painful, we have to give it to ourselves.
Yes.
We have to choose ourselves. I mean, ultimately, at the bottom line, you're grappling with the top of the umbrella of all the things that we have to give to ourselves. We have to choose ourselves. We
Yeah.
have to. It's your duty. And we come to this planet born as girls and we're immediately programmed to not choose ourselves. It's so messed
Yes.
up and causes so much turmoil. And here you are at, like, you've lived your life, you've gone through all of these situations. You sort of dispelled the dream that, oh, I was going to fall in love and get married and have children and everything was going to be amazing and buy this beautiful house. All of the things that we're told, it was going to be Pottery Barn perfect. And then reality is what reality is. People are very complex.
Yeah,
I don't know who that situation ever works out for, but we're sold it all the time. We're sold it all the
absolutely.
time. And it just sells humans short because we are so complex and there's so much richness to be lived in
Hmm.
the whole gamut of emotional states. Okay, so yeah, you're definitely onto something. So let's hear some about your story. I want to know, what is there a particular moment where your life really changed directions? I know you mentioned your divorce, but we're talking about your whole life trajectory, your career, what you do, how you relate to yourself, how you relate to the world. When did it happen? What occurred?
Well, I really think that one blessing are the relationships in our lives. And for a long time, I just coasted through life. And there was a moment where I think it was like 2016, 10 years ago, going through a divorce, having two young girls, and navigating another relationship that ended, and waking up one day like, I don't think life is supposed to feel this way. And that was the pivotal moment of, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And so that led me to, I was teaching at the time, and it led me to getting certified as a mindfulness educator. And that mentality of nurturing people and fixing and helping others, going through that certification, I realized, oh my God, it's okay to feel emotions. As a kid, I used to feel so much shame when I felt big emotions, and I would hide in my room and I would cry them out, and then I'm like, okay, I
Oh,
feel fine, and not talk about them. And I think that's a lot. We didn't talk about emotions growing up. And that was just, I think that was an overarching thing, nothing at school. And so with that, it was like, oh my gosh, I dove in. I read books and I meditated, and it filled my life. And I went through a whole fix myself, fix myself, fix myself. And then I got to a point where it's like, shoot, all I'm doing is fixing myself instead of living. And so it became that balance of learning to trust myself. So I have taken tons of risks in my life. I was an educator for 20 years, and I stepped out and I started doing consulting work. I wrote well-being curriculum. I worked for a nonprofit and trained educators in well-being. And now I'm working at the corporate level. I couldn't even imagine myself doing that out of college at all
and
because,
at the corporate level, sorry, let me interrupt you
yeah,
for a
yeah,
second. At the
no
corporate
worries.
level, because this is with such an interesting trajectory and how your specific skill set led to where you are. And I think that's so, you couldn't plan that for sure.
I know.
So
Yeah.
at the corporate level, what are you doing?
I am working, my friend and colleague, she's a neuroscientist, Dr. Marcia Goddard. She started her business, Brain Matters Consulting. And so we do psychological safety trainings and high performance culture trainings. And it's interesting because maybe 2 years ago, when I even considered doing this, I had
Syndrome.
syndrome. And then I realized when there's something about giving yourself time to digest things. And then I realized that since the moment I woke up to not being on autopilot anymore, and I don't think life's supposed to feel this way, I realized that the way I showed up at work pre waking up as a robot on autopilot,
Yeah.
and then now post, huge difference. And so I'm fascinated by how people show up in the world. And so here it's in a corporate setting, in a team, how people show up, and just a lot of, I have a lot of empathy because there are things that we can't control, like if we have a leader that we can't navigate, and just little by little helping people understand that yes, you can't control someone else or how they show up, but you can, it's a mindset shift, right? It's how, if we attend to our inner world, I feel we can navigate anything in life when we're really sound and solid with who
Yeah.
we are. Because I think if you come across someone who's very difficult to deal with, if you've worked on your inner world, your inner landscape, you can be like, this person has a lot that's going on underneath the surface. And you can, there's a lot of empathy, a lot of understanding. You can't control them, but you can, I feel, this is me and part of my design, like, how can I show some love that will maybe not be understood right away, but maybe down the road it'll land somewhere. And so that's part of the work that I love to do in anywhere I work, because I have, as a manifesting generator, I have my hand in many things right now. And of course, the ones that light me up. But the underlying thing in any way, any place that I show up is, how can I sprinkle a little extra love? And I'm not perfect. And there's moments where I'm on the sofa and I'm in hermit mode, but I have to do that in order to go out and sprinkle. And I'm sassy and I get mad at the person honking at me when I'm not turning right on red and it says no right on red. I am real, but I'm still the best way that I can showing up with love. Like, you hurt me, you betrayed me. Yeah, I'm going to let you know that. I'm going to tell you. And now I don't
Mm.
give a flip if you're arguing with me. I'm done. If you're going to argue with me after I'm telling you how I feel,
Well, you know what's really fun
it's
about
over.
that? You know what's really fun about what you just said is that that's you choosing you.
Right. I'll love you from afar, but I'm not going to interact with you.
That's you choosing you. That's you
Hmm.
giving, showing love for yourself. And I think that's what's super interesting about the sort of thread that I was watching go through what you were talking about with who you are doing trainings for and how people show up and what a person can bring to a situation to make things flow better or flow in the
Yeah.
direction that you want them to is really what you're talking about is presence,
Yes.
is being emotionally steady within yourself so that you can be present,
Mhm.
recognizing that you're the leader of your team might be having issues and might not be as emotionally contained or not contained, but regulated as you are.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You can
Right.
still get what you need met. And it also harkens back to what we were originally talking about, which is the taking responsibility, being
Yes.
responsible for your own inner state so that you're not thrown off balance by your people who are in charge of the work that you're doing being in their thing and you can stay steady. So it's showing up authentically and vulnerable. Showing up authentically is vulnerable,
Yes.
and how we protect ourselves by allowing ourselves to be authentic and be vulnerable is by having self-trust that I'm going to take care of me and I want to be authentic, which is going to put me at a vulnerable place, but that allows me to be present. And then there's a balance, of course, because people are people and you don't know who exactly and how and what degree they're going to go to make their point or to try to contain and control. It's such a fine, nuanced thing,
Yeah.
being a human. And I can't even imagine being in a corporate environment. I
I,
have, but as a creative, so I already had a bit more freedom within that to just be a wacky artist,
yeah. I
storm out of a meeting in tears
know.
kind
I
of
know.
situation.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that's
Yeah.
expected. But yeah. Okay. So let's,
But I think it's so beautiful. You talk about not being in that, but also in my case, I work with, but then I get to go home. I get to go home and not be. And I know for you, like we created the work that we love and that we're passionate about.
mhm.
We created that for ourselves, and it wasn't easy. We had to make choices. We had to go through difficult times, and we still might be going through difficult times, but we get to do the work that we love to do.
It's all coming up against your own emotional stuff
Yes.
and getting better
Yes.
at it. And then
Yeah.
probably for both of us, for me, I know for sure, I'm holding the space for people's emotional stuff when it comes to their money, which is, it's very fraught with shame, which is one of the hardest emotions. And we avoid it like crazy, is that sense of shame. But that's where the shift happens. And
Right.
I guess the skill that if I wish anybody, I could see us teaching children in the future. In my perfect world, according to the film The Last Mimsy, that last
Yeah.
scene in The Last Mimsy is that we would really be teaching children deep
Mm.
skills of being a
Yes.
human, navigate, not even navigating. I would love to just dispense. Can we switch timelines again? Can we switch
Mm.
that CERN super collider on and off a few times until we get
Yeah.
to the place where it's like humans aren't being immediately controlled and programmed into being service
Yeah.
agents for something larger and horrible?
Yeah, we are. We are shifting out of that. We are jumping timelines.
Okay. Okay,
We're in the
Kristin.
process of it.
Is that why it feels so terrible? So let's talk about what is something you always knew about yourself, but you kept yourself small. You shrunk it and you put it in a box. And when did that box break open? I think we know.
Yeah, we definitely know.
What was the thing that you knew that you've known since you were tiny?
In human design, we have gifts. My top gift is I have influential energy. And I've always known this. And I am a Leo. But for me, I've always wanted to be looked at as someone who is influential, is loving, is caring and kind. And I always knew that about myself. However, I shrunk because that was taken advantage of. So then I became that people pleaser.
Mm.
And when I never really gave myself the opportunities throughout life to be like, well, is this what I want? Or is this, or even share what I want? This is what I want. This is what I want in a relationship. This is what it was me always being that loving, caring person. And I was seen as that, but there was a, blur. So I always had this influential energy, but I shrunk it because I didn't have control of it, if that makes sense.
Did you think you were going to run roughshod over everyone?
Yeah, there were moments that I did. So it was, I either was, oh, the good girl, I did everything, or it was, right, you can't do this to me. What is better with you? And so of course, when I woke up and like, I don't think life's supposed to feel this way, I really learned to balance that. And it changed when I really chose myself and loved who I was.
Mhm.
And it was through actually, it was through one very difficult relationship post divorce that kicked my booty. But I see it now as something that just helped me get my worth back. And I'm not someone who ghosts or blocks, or I think there's benefit behind it. But if you ghost or block someone, then there's no communication, no honest communication. I think that's a disservice to humanity. And so I always stepped into the fire, and every time I stepped into the fire, I learned about myself more and more, the layers. And finally, it was like, oh my God, I'm at this point where I can actually say what I want. I might not get it. And I've also learned that's the universe protecting me from or redirecting
Mhm.
me, rerouting me to
Mhm.
the right path. So it's the influential, loving. I have such belief in people. And for a while too, it was to a detriment because I was like, oh, I believe in this person. And the person would continue to hurt or lie or betray. And okay, like I got to a point where it's, oh, I can't be around that anymore because I'm not being true to myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what's interesting, I think, is that you're talking about you really coming into your own as far as being a woman in this world, in this sort of patriarchal construct and the rules that we were forced to live by. So there's that piece. And then there's also the discernment piece. And it does definitely come back around to self-trust and self-love. And there's a self-acceptance part of the piece that you made small was the running roughshod over people, the Leo. Is that the
Yeah.
Leo? The Leo
Yeah.
wanting to, you know,
Wanting to be chosen.
wanting to roar,
Yeah. Yeah.
wanting to roar at people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there any last words you want to say about that?
No, I definitely feel that, and if I can inspire anyone, it's really important to love yourself, love who you are, even in your mistakes or your
Or
down.
those parts of yourself that the world said were unacceptable,
Right.
especially for girls.
Yeah.
That's, I think, ultimately the bottom line of it, isn't it? Is loving the unlovable parts of yourself is going to bring you
Yes.
so much freaking joy.
Yes. Experience right here. And don't be
Um,
afraid to take risks and be uncomfortable.
yeah,
I mean, I
let's
can,
talk about risk because you've talked about a lot about like how your human design gave you your pathway through all of this, learning about your human design. And I do want to hear if there's anything that you haven't mentioned about that, but also what risk have you taken recently that has shown? Oh, let's hear it.
ooh, I've taken a lot of risks. I think the most recent one, all of 2025, was very challenging financially for me. I got let go from a nonprofit that I worked for. And then I have such an entrepreneurial spirit. Oh, let's get my own thing going. And I've learned through my human design, because I'm a manifesting generator, I put my energy towards things that light me up. And there's a lot of things in my past that before I knew I was a manifesting generator, that I would just quit and walk away from. And then it's, what's wrong with you? You don't have the energy. What's the matter with you? You're a failure. You're a quitter. And then I realized, no, it's just part of my design. And so I stopped working at the well, they let me go because they had money budget issues. And actually, Dr. Marcia Goddard, my friend and colleague now at Brain Matters, they cut that business part of the nonprofit too. So it was like a Jerry Maguire, who's coming with me? No, I'm just kidding. So she's, let's work together. 2025 was I think for me, even though it was challenging, it was a year for me to really learn that I can navigate very difficult waters and learn. I had this after my divorce, I have this little dark spirit in me. I was like, I can do it on my own. I don't need help from anybody. And I really learned that no, we need to be in community. You need to ask for help. And when you ask for help, people help you. And so I can't even tell you, there's things that I did in 2025, how I navigated it. And I'm so proud of myself. And financially, I'm still working on that piece, but I had to move out of the house I rented. I was behind on my rent and I had to move out and I had nowhere to go. And so the risk that I took was I left and I found a I look back, I'm like, I don't even know how I did it. Like, there's angels. I truly believe
You did it so peacefully too. Like you
yes,
had a lot of peace of mind about it and
yes,
just so much trust that the right thing was going to
yes.
happen. And it
And I
didn't have to
really,
be on a timeline.
exactly, or the way everyone thought I should do it.
Oh, yeah.
But the underlying thing was
That's a
that
big piece.
I trusted in God. I trusted in the universe. I know I'm protected. And so, yeah, it's not the way my path unfolds is not, people would be like, that is not a pretty path, but it is. It's a beautiful path because it's unex another part of my human design is I have unexpected cross, or it's incarnation cross, and I won't get into it, but it's that of the unexpected. And for me, I get opportunities in unexpected ways. They just kind of pop out. And along the way of 2025 and now, I recognize that. So for me, I tell myself, enjoy, enjoy right now, the present moment, just live and love and laugh, and I'll be supported. So,
Mm.
yeah, that's kind of, and I take the risks.
Yes, you do. So, for the people who might come across this and they don't necessarily feel like they are protected, that they have this direct
Yeah.
correlation, or their evidence in their life has shown them otherwise, what do you think you could say that might be helpful?
So, real quick, the reason why I went into human design is because one of my favorite things is just to tell someone how amazing they are. And then looking at their chart, I get to tell them, this is your chart. This is why you're amazing. These are your gifts. And so I feel that if people don't feel like they're supported or held, they are. I think it's opening themselves up to talking to a new person they've never talked to, or going somewhere that they've never done, and then surprising themselves. I could tell someone, "Oh, you're amazing," but they're not going to think that unless they truly change their mindset or take something that they've experienced and see a different perspective from it.
Mm,
But
yeah.
also don't isolate themselves and seek out, even a conversation with a stranger might help uplift them. I truly believe that the creator, God, wouldn't have created us if there wasn't a beautiful plan for
Mm,
us. And so I think if we can root ourselves in that belief, we can shift and change our life, our outlook, our view. And I think that's really needed in our world right now.
yeah,
You weren't
absolutely.
created as a mistake, you were created for a reason. And now all of us need that. We all need each other's gifts. And I think if we take that time and slow down and recognize the gift that we have to bring to the world, what a wonderful world this would be. Thank you, Louis Armstrong. Just me. I'm optimistic. I mean, I know I have a heart of gold. I am not saying that from an egotistical way, but I do. I feel it.
Aw, I think you do too.
Aw, thank you.
So, what are you doing? Are you going to continue doing human design coaching
Mm,
if anybody is interested in that?
absolutely. I've done one-on-one sessions. I've done sessions, few sessions with people. I've dove in deeply with you. So yes, human design sessions still light me up. Just continue diving into this conversations with Kristin, the work that I do I work in as a consultant for the county of LA, and then also with Brain Matters. Yeah, I'm here. I'm
You
here
have
for
a
it.
cool little roster right now.
I know. Yeah.
So I can attest to the fact that human design, understanding, digging into all as many aspects as you can about your human design and the gifts in particular, all of the pieces of it have just been so amazing. But right off the bat, initially, to just put to rest, because I have a very similar design as you, that emotional manifesting generator who likes to indulge in a lot of things, learning lots of things, but then when I'm done, I'm done. And so it used to feel like, well, what is wrong with me? Why can I not follow through with this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, once I learned you're not supposed to, you got what you needed from it and then you move on. Yeah, that's actually true. And it's just
Exactly.
the construct of the world that's telling me, oh, you need to start when you finish. And there are areas of your life that you absolutely have to do that. But as far as this exploration and learning and gathering skills and information, all of the things that I've done have informed the next thing that I've done, and so on and so forth until we're here. So learning that was like, oh, okay, I can stop even like spending any energy, any brain space on fretting about myself in that respect. And how about I focus here on the things that I do have gifts for, what I'm supposed to be doing.
We're all extraordinary,
We
right?
are.
We need you to be rooted in your
I
gift.
think that's the thing that I love the most about understanding my human design is it really is an opportunity to love the makeup of who you are. And you can just sort of see it as this beautiful design, this beautiful pattern, this beautiful, unique being that you were created this way.
Yeah.
Of all of the humans on the planet. Who else would have your exact human design, be your age, be your same gender, be born in the same place at the same time? You're going to have all these other variations, your astrological sign and whatnot.
Right.
They're just incredibly, it's your fingerprints. No
Yes.
two are alike.
I know. We're unique. It's like snowflakes. Oh,
All right.
but I love these conversations with
I
you.
do too.
You
It's
speak my
always so good.
language. I know.
It's always so good.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Were there any last words that you wanted to?
No, just hold your head up high and know that you're loved and supported and find your people. I think that's important moving
Mm,
forward. Find your people. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.